You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. Sports Radio.
Strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. And you could be next. You better give respect. Cause ain't nobody breaking this redneck. No, they don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They looking scared. No, they don't really want none.
This is Coach Scott Vermillion, head coach of the defending state champion Gate City Boys basketball team. And you're listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're back here from Gate City Middle School Gymnasium in the nightcap as our Gate City Blue Devils take on the Wise Central Warriors for the Mountain 7 District Championship. I'm Joe along with Chris, and again, we're here about 9 minutes away from tip-off in the nightcap as Union knocked off John Battle in the previous game as they will move on as the number 3 seed out of the Mountain 7 in next week's district matchup.
Joe, we have breaking news. Let me hand you the bulletin.
As we come off to the air, Chris, what do you got?
Well, we have tonight number 23 in your program dressed out, going through warm-ups, none other than Zach Irvin.
Zach Irvin missed the game against Wise Central here last time on January 22nd. That was his first, again, after he was diagnosed with a knee injury. He's been out since then, and so he looks to make a return tonight. Playing availability, Chris, we don't know what that'll be, but I don't think he'll start, but he'll probably play some.
Well, it's got to be a lift for Gate City.
So, yeah, the place did get there was a buzz, and we got electric in here once that happened. So, again, here on the Premier Pharmacy pregame show, we'll have an in-depth look at this Gate City Wise Central matchup, again, and we'll go over the keys to the game, have the starting lineups, and again, get you ready for the Mountain 7 District Championship game. Wise Central and Gate City here from Middle School Gymnasium. Again, you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Whether you're headed out to the game or if you're just looking for something great to eat, stop by and see the outstanding folks at the Campus Drive-In on Kane Street in Gate City. Campus Drive-In supporting Gate City Athletics for over 60 years, and they have a tremendous selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items, and they're open 7 days a week. Also go in and ask about their new ice cream machine as well. So give them a call for call-in orders at 276-386-3702. Again, that's 276-386-3702.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. Sports Radio.
And we're back here live, Gate City Middle School Gymnasium, before a packed house. Wise Central and Gate City about 7 minutes away from tip-off. You want to bring in Chris Demolition Car.
Demolition. The Tylenol's kicked in. The caffeine's kicked in. I'm ready to rock.
Ready to rock and roll. Again, first time we've had a pregame show here, again, with everything that's happened here in the district tournament. But again, like I said, we're ready to roll. So let's talk about some of the keys of the game. I think the first thing for Gate City, they've got to create pressure and contain Wise Central's guards. Driving and kicking has been a staple in the Warriors' offense. They've hit at least 6 3-pointers in their last 5 wins of the season. Gate City has allowed the guards a lot of times for their opposing team to break them down. Again, if that's been an Achilles heel for this Gate City team, they've got to deny Wise Central tonight.
I agree with you, Joe. I got some interesting numbers to throw out to you when we've got
interesting
time.
Numbers?
Will this be a good chance?
This would be awesome.
So, when you look at the first quarter averages between these two teams, it's identical, 14-14.
Okay.
When you look at the second quarter, Gay City has a 3-point advantage, 22, I'm sorry. So this game has got the potential to go into halftime very, very close, which it has, particularly when we played up in Wise. Third quarter, though, Gay City statistically is taking charge here. They're outscoring Wise 24-14. Fourth quarter, 23-12 Gay City, which gives Gay City a 74-point per game average versus 60 points for Wise. The first half, though, should be really, really close based off statistics. So if Gay City can open up there, that would speak well for the second half.
Great point. Again, so let's talk about the second thing that should be looking for. Talk about that post-production for Gate City. Wise Central has good interior defenders, again, and they're very, very physical. Bryson Collins and Ben Stallard have played well against Gate City in their two matchups. The Blue Devils need to take pressure off of Dean Compton Vermillion. And again, if Irvin does play tonight, again, they've got to take the scoring off of them just a little bit and give them some balance, again, as we prepare for the regional tournament next week.
Well, I've heard the rumors that he may just be on the bench tonight for moral support, but we'll see. If this comes down to a close game, who knows?
That sort of leads into, again, third fact, Gate City's got to be prepared for the physical play of Wise Central. Admittedly, Coach McAmis has been quoted saying that Gate City this year is vulnerable enough to lose in the district. In each of the games, again, Gate City began to pull away, but it was only in the second half of each of those that happened. This series has been marred by technical fouls, missed calls, up and down play. Gate City has to be mentally ready to come out here and take on Wise Central.
Well, like we talked about in the JV game, the referees let the JV teams play with Union and Gate City. If they're going to continue that trend tonight, Gate City had better be ready.
I think the next thing is Gate City's got to, again, continue to find other offensive outlets. Bradley Dean, of course, Wise Central did a pretty good job in the first quarter. However, he did end up exploding. He's got 58 combined points against Wise Central, including 40 that last ball game when they were playing here. Again, that was the first game that Irvin missed. And as you hear the crowd, Jack Irvin leads them out onto the court. So, who do you think will be the X factor for points tonight for Gate City?
I've got an XY factor. I've got two.
Ooh, chromosome action.
Well, I didn't think about that. But yes, they would both have XYs.
Educational and fun. Yes, Gate City Sports Radio has it all.
Vermillion Compton. Both of those guys have stepped up admirably the last few games. If they continue that trend, I would love not much more than to see a blowout like we saw against John Battle. And this team has that potential.
14 three-pointers they hit against John Battle in that 96-69 throttling 2 nights ago. I don't think they're going to have those open looks as they did against John Battle. I'm looking inside. I think you're going to see a John Sally come up and play big. The other night had, again, 8 points, 8 rebounds, played extremely well. You know, George has been kind of that stopper, the block, shots, altering, but I think Sally's got a little bit better in terms of his overall mobility, getting good position. You take a look at Wise Central as they are warming up now. Big, strong-bodied inside, but I don't think they've got the lateral movement that a Sally does. So it'll be interesting to see if he can take advantage tonight.
Well, if Sally, George, Googe, if they can work it around inside, that is going to open up the outside shots for Compton and Vermillion.
What would this place do if Irvin does get inserted, though, maybe late, maybe sometime it hits a 3?
Well, here's another question for you. What's this place going to be like if Wise pulls the upset? I mean, we may be in jeopardy of our lives.
A lot of streaks on the line tonight. Gate City has won, this is unofficial, 60, that's a 6 with a 0, consecutive home games dating back to 2015. That was also the last time they lost in the district. They have a 61-game overall streak in the Mountain 7 district. So, streaks are on the line here tonight, as we're about a minute away from tip-off.
Well, and like we talked about in the post-game of the JV game, Central has nothing to lose tonight. You know they are going to absolutely give everything they've got right here in the first quarter, I think, to set the tone.
So the worst they can do is come out and be a number 2 seed out of the district. They will be assured of a home game coming up next week, again in the Region 2A tournament. So we're about to have the starting lineups here. Looks like if possibly Wise Central's not come back out of the locker room.
So I don't know if they're drawing up their last-minute plans. I don't know if they're putting their body armor on. Let's see if they come out with shoulder pads.
And here they come now to their bench. About 30 seconds left. Gate City looks like they're going to start their same 5 they've had. Vermillion, Hicks, Compton, Dean, and Sally. Again, Zach Irvin in the line where, of course, when they introduce him, he's in that line right there where he won't be a starter. And as we talked about, maybe a decoy tonight. As, again, we're getting ready for basketball action here at against Wise Central. Then they'll introduce Wise Central starters. Tyler Vanover comes into this matchup averaging 6 points a game against the Blue Devils. Elijah Hayes also averaging double digits against the Blue Devils, 11 points on the season. Daniel Lester, again, he was the guy that kind of sparked the revolution, if you will, up at Wise Central with those fouls that got contest. Then we've got also number 30, Ben Stallard. We talked about him being in the middle. And Bryson Collins, that is their post players, as that is the Wise Central Warriors coming in here as the number 2 seed. Now for the regular season champions, the Gate City Blue Devils. Bradley Dean, leading scorer right now, active on the Gate City roster. John Compton, he's hit double-digit figures 4 of the last 6 games. Drew Vermillion, averaging close to 50% from downtown. Jacob Hicks, always a double-double threat. He's had multiple games with rebounds and points in which he's been in the top 3. And Don Sally gets the start tonight, number 22, the man in the middle.
Joe, you can feel the tension, the electricity, whatever you want to call it. This game's special tonight.
Speaking of electricity, I wish they put the lights back on.
There we go.
So, before a capacity crowd here in the middle school gymnasium, we're getting ready for basketball action. Wise Central dressed in black with white lettering and red outline. Gate City in their home whites, blue lettering with white outline. Gate City was going right to left on your radio dial. As Sally and Bryson Collins tips the ball, we're underway. Gate City takes the tip, and here they come. John Sally has got the basketball. He's up to the top of the key, passes to Compton. Gate City looking to run offense here. As Bradley Dean now, again, he's going to be guarded by Demi Lester pretty much all night, and they double team him as Sally's got the basketball. Shot up, no good, rebounded by Wise Central. Wise Central wants to run, and they put the shot from 3, way outside, no good. Rebounded by Bradley Dean, and here comes Gate City. 2-on-4 break as Jacob Hicks pulls up from 3. That's up and good. Gate City with the first lead of the night, 3-0. Chris, is it loud in here, or is it just me?
What?
Wise Central now on offense, trying to get the ball inside. Shot's going to be up, no good. Rebounded by John Sally. Gate City now with the basketball. Bringing over the timeline is John Compton. Compton's with the basketball. Gives it to John Sally. Again, he's at the top of the key. He's pulling Collins away from